Okay, so Rebecca, we obviously work together in a very innovative school, a very forward-thinking school, and you're a very experienced practitioner. So we're just going to have a little conversation about what innovation means to you and how we embed that in our practice, and how you, as a highly effective practitioner, push that drive for innovation forward. And if you could give us some examples about how you feel that innovation is completely embedded in your practice.
Okay, so as when I came in as an NQT and in my initial years of teaching, I felt that I very much had a drive for wanting to change my practice and make sure that the provision in place for pupils was best practice. So additional research and inquiry is something that I was very much aware of right in the early stages, and is something that I've looked at developing. And I think over the years of my teaching practice, the number of different cohorts of pupils, the range of experience that I've had, I've very much been able to gather a whole range of strategies and practices that, derived from inquiry, additional research, schools as learning organisations, and going out and visiting and having a look at what others do, as well as taking on board what I perceive as best practice in our own setting, to make sure that there's a consistency of approach, and making sure that then that is embedded from a departmental perspective. So for me, innovation isn't always about something new, but it's about making sure that everybody is aware of what best practice is, how that looks, making sure that the provision that they've got in place is in the best interest of the pupils, that it's constantly driving their progress, that we're thinking outside of the box, and looking at lots of other things that are available in order to make sure that what we're doing is purposeful and meaningful for pupils.
And obviously in your role as a leader now as well within your department, you will have teachers in your department at different stages of their development. So some newly qualified teachers, some who are in early stages, and also some experienced teachers. So how do you feel that you can push that drive for innovation forward to encourage them? Because, we'd like to showcase, as you said, what happens in our school, but we also need to make sure it's embedded for the best interests of the pupils in our school as well.
So at the moment, I'm very much engaged in driving the culture of inquiry across the department, and I'm working very closely with some other staff in school in making sure that we have a purposeful and effective induction process for, we've already got a really good one in place for teachers, but looking at support staff as well, and making sure that there's that reflection on professional standards and the impact that what they're doing is having on the pupils that they're managing. We also do a lot of sharing good practice, which is really important. If you said, I've got a wide range of experienced and less experienced teachers and support staff within the department, and making sure that good practice is shared, because actually some of our NQTs have got some really good ideas as well, but needing the support to develop those maybe is where some of the more experienced teachers come in. But definitely with sharing the good practice, we have weekly micro-training sessions where we're embedding best practice and looking at innovative things that are coming in or ideas that others have had, alongside all of the other things that we need to be doing as standard practice.
And you've had quite a good experience of embedding some of those things within your department, some new technologies, some new equipment, some new experiences for your pupils. Have you noticed an impact on the learning of those pupils through using all those different approaches?
Definitely. So COVID was really beneficial in as much as it's really made us hone in on our IT skills and the programs and platforms that we're using to deliver education and to maximise pupil engagement. And so we've done quite a lot of work on IT and making sure that pupils are upskilled in a range of different programs and apps that we use, and that's had a very positive effect, in as much as pupils now who, even though if they can't access school, are still accessing their learning. So we don't see as much of pupils missing out on the learning.
And that's interesting, isn't it? It's something good came out of a very difficult situation, in as much as we were able.
And it was really good
forward.
in upskilling the teachers as well, and helping them to look at their delivery, making sure that the content was engaging. So it really made them look at their lessons and what they were producing in a different way. And that's had a really positive impact on lessons in general and the delivery, because they're significantly more engaging. There's a lot more use of IT, which we know this generation of pupils particularly thrive on, because it's what they're used to. And that's meant that it's been much more beneficial, and in that way, and because we had to utilise it so much through COVID, it's been well embedded and is now just part of their daily practice.
Yeah, I think it definitely encouraged all of us to think outside the box a bit, didn't it, and find different innovative ways of.
And certainly for our more sensory learners as well, because it's easy to say we engaged in a lot more IT, but really thinking outside of the box in how we provided for the wide ranging cohort of pupils that we've got, and our more sensory pupils that aren't able to access IT, and what it was that we were providing for them. So I think it's made everybody really have a long hard think of what they're doing.
Yeah, great. Okay, thanks very much.